Do you ever experience heaviness in your home? Do you ever feel like there's a heavy energy or something is off in terms of the balancing in your home? Do you maybe find that your life is riddled with a lot of bad luck and you struggle to find a constant a flow of energy in terms of your positivity? Do you also find that you are not sleeping well and your dreams are kind of fading away from you? You get to see them, but they don't stay long enough for you to acknowledge them when you wake up. Today we talk about cleansings. Go tlhapisiwa, go tlhapisa, go tisetsa, go sireletsa, bethela, qinisa umzimba. A lot of the terms that you would use, but all of them are around cleansings and protection. Tagazani, welcome to another great and of course exciting episode of Lesedisangoma, and obviously I'm your host with the most, Ugogo Moyo. And today we're going to be talking about cleansings. What is a cleansing? A cleansing is a purification ritual. It can be conducted for your home, for you as a person. It can also be done for you moving into a new home, even you selling your home to rid the energies of attachment and to especially the property that you'd be in. You can cleanse for a new job or after getting a new job. You can cleanse for quite a number of things. These purification rituals are mostly conducted on 3 levels, for 3 kinds. And that's for you as a person, for objects, as well as places. So it's always with association that you have with the property or the energy that you experience in the spaces that you're in, whether it's with self, with the place that you live in, or a particular object like a car that you drive in every day, but all of a sudden it's acting weird. Like something is going on when a lot of the things are happening in your life and you realize that you're not finding any stillness, any calm, or you don't have a really good balance of the energies that are flowing towards you and how you get to receive them and channel them back out into the world. What would you need to cleanse against? We live in a world that it's got weird and wonderful people in it, and part of those weird ones would be where someone feels the need to want to oppress, dominate, or take charge of a situation, or even the natural progression of that event of flow energy. And these kind of people would rather use the darker side of magic, of their talents to want to rule and govern over situations, and that's not correct. So if someone does not particularly like you, they will want to project their energies onto you and want to slow down the progress of your life or affect how even you feel about yourself in your own home. Like, you can be affected on so many levels. Are you identifying where you're lacking? Are you being mindful of what's actually going on around you? Joined also, very importantly, by dreams, because dreams narrate a lot of the things that are happening in our lives, how our energies are flowing, how events are going to happen, or they will explain events that have just happened. They're so informative and so detailed. They'll never leave you without an idea of what's going on, in terms of an energy. Yes, the detail may be a bit more confusing, but the general feel after you've had the dream, how do you feel? It speaks to what happens in your life, especially when you're oppressed. If you are dreaming about things like someone is coming into your home, or someone is being able to have access into your home, or someone is able to do things to your belongings and come close to spaces where they would need your authority and and your guidance for them to make it there, then you already know that there's an invasion of energy, of space that's going on around you, and it speaks to getting cleansings. We all need protection on any level, but mostly on a spiritual level, it's the one that I find is more important than not, because you are able to identify when something is not right in the air within a group of people, within, you know, the situation that you're in. Like, the energies come to you quite quickly and very vividly, that it almost, that's where a deja vu would come into play. You know, you in a premonitive state, is there such a word? You having a premonition in the space that you're in, you know, alluding to how you should behave or navigate the situation that you're thrown into. Some other people cleanse their own spaces, where they would use sage, impepo. They would use candles to balance out some energies before, especially a meditation or a connecting, you know, or channeling time that they want to have with their ancestors, as well as they use sea salt. They use oils, you know, like essential oils that they would find speaks to their palate, you know, whatever would induce in a relaxed state for them, as well as one that where they would feel that they're comfortable and safe in that environment. Association. Right after cleansings, you will realize that there is an immediate shift in energy. There's immediate relief. You can immediately feel that there's a different kind of energy that has stepped into the space. You may not be able to relate to it, you know, but you will notice it for sure. Tests have shown that smoke from burning sage literally changes the ionization polarity of the air. There is an incantation I repeat often when I'm doing my cleansings, and that is air, fire, water, earth. Cleanse, dismiss, dispel. A story I can share about my experiences while administering cleansings on people's homes. I remember there was a home cleansing I had to do in the north of Joburg and of Johannesburg, and there was this, while I was cleansing the house and I was spraying imiti around the room, speaking to the energies in terms of trying to find balance, you know, in the zone of what I'm doing. As I turn by the door, there is a couch facing the TV, and this white guy, was in his tracksuit pants. He was dressed in black tracksuit pants and a hoodie, and he's comfortably laying on the couch and he's watching TV. He's even got the remote in his hand, sprawled across the couch, even resting his feet on the table. I'm like, okay, you look very comfortable. I didn't feel him as a bad energy. I just was able to identify him. And while that was happening, I spoke to him that he can no longer be in that space because his family has since left. He has since passed away, and there's no one here who knows who he is that can accommodate for him. And there's a new family, so he should then leave, you know, and go find comfort elsewhere. I said it in terms of to complete what was going on, because he's sitting there for the whole time he's watching these new people come into his home. They've been living there, I don't know for how long, possibly a year and a half or two. But this guy's been sitting there, and then now I come with my sensitivity to energy, and I'm able to identify and actually speak to him, you know. And it helped because it completed that cycle for him. I alerted the homeowners, and okay, I was originally there for a lady who is supposed to be going under her training, but she's one of those people that banomoya as well. So a lot of the training they also get from their dreams, via visions or premonitions, or however their ancestors speak to them. And she was saying that she has a block in her dreams. And after I had left, she shared with me that she had a dream that her grandmother was sitting on the couch, and they were conversing, and I think they were having tea or something, but they were sitting in that same space that I had to cleanse this energy of. And to me, I was able to, you know, to tell her that, to me, it speaks to the fact that the energy has since shifted. So the people that you are trying to now connect with, being your ancestors, your guide, you can now officially and easily invite them into your space, and they'll stay, you know, because that energy is no longer hovering and hoarding the space. It needed a redirection, and that's what happens to energy. it needs to be shifted and moved around, so there's a balance and there's a flow, and things and can coexist, and we can learn from the different kind of energies that come to us. So that's the story I have around home cleansings. I realized that my audience is quite big, and my audience falls under many different categories. People who are 100% South African, who are born out here but don't know half of the things I'm talking about, I've never been exposed to them. There are people from other countries that were born in South Africa or are African or have a general interest in the kind of conversations that I have, who are of different ethnicities as well and different cultures. There's also a Sangoma who's just come out of out of training, etwaseni, and this person is trying to find their feet, trying to figure themselves out. There's that person who's just curiously sitting and wondering about these things and doesn't know how they've got an interest in this conversation, but it's there, it's innately there within them. There's also the person who still needs to go to initiation and is trying to almost avoid the process and hopefully want to learn only and purely from the videos. But you have to give it its time, as well as I'm giving this video its time, else it wouldn't exist, and hence we wouldn't know anything about me or the conversation. So you won't know about that conversation unless if you engage and give it time, give it your attention and learn from that versus just purely from other people. There's also like those silent viewers who just come in and watch the videos and don't comment or don't like or don't publicly make themselves known, and they're just there to just watch if we know the same things, and sometimes we don't, sometimes they're similar, and there's obviously the haters. Yeah, shout out to you. Anyway, yeah, so I've realized that my audience is quite big, so some of the information I'm going to share, I'm trying by all means to look at it from not just a person who's in the role of providing this kind of help and information and advisors, if there's such a word. And yeah, I hope it's helping, because it's almost like it's a hack, it's a crazy thing that happens to my brain when I have to figure it out how I can answer a question by introducing a topic, explaining it, and providing different perspectives or outlooks to them. Yeah. Thank you so much to my viewers for the birthday messages from my clients as well. There's also another group of people that I do actually talk to via these videos. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes, for the presents, and for transitioning with me and for celebrating with me. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the slideshow of my birthday party. That was a surprise, what it was meant to be before I dreamt about it. I'm so bad. But I had an absolutely amazing time. I'm happy for this part of my life. I am looking absolutely forward to it. I don't think I've been this happy in a minute, where I have a lot of control over what's going on in my life, in my energies. It's almost like I can always reconnect if I'm losing my way, and I'm very happy for that, because it's almost like I finally then found my home, my place of my sanctuary and my safe space, in and amongst all the noise that happens and is brought forth by the world. And I'm 30 years old. That's so cool, actually. I'm 30 years old. This is a different part of my life that allows for me to show off all the things that I've been building up to and have been taught along my journey, along my life, along the relationships I've gotten to keep, lucky enough and fortunate enough to keep and have, and the people I can call my friends, and to the fact that I can build a network around myself and be able to find like-minded people who I can converse with about the things that's going on in the world and in my space, for one. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying my journey thoroughly. I'm enjoying the challenges. I'm enjoying identifying, problem solving, providing new solutions, gosh, I'm enjoying being a part of a very small group in comparison to the world of enlightened people who can actually be very lucid in terms of having control on what happens around them. Thank you very much for tuning in, and please do share with me if you guys have actually had any cleansings done. Did they affect you in any way? If you've had a home cleansing done, 2 years later have another one done. If you've had a business cleansing done, I think maybe an 18-month thing for you, because they actually do affect and change the things that go on around you. In African culture, we don't really believe much in fate. We believe in being in control of our own good fortunes, as well as how we navigate through the world. Of course, there'll be those dark times where there is loss on many senses, but without loss, there cannot be a rebirth of new spaces that we enter into. So sometimes a lot of our lives, and largely the most important part of our lives, only starts happening after a horrific or tragic loss, that impacts you on a level where you are now forced to tap into a different part of yourself. And I am absolutely embracing this part of my life as this adulting through this adulthood. So difficult. But yeah, I'm going to give it my all and journey with me. Happy Heritage Month, everybody. Please culturally, tribally, groupally, in the spaces that you're in, represent who you are, or don someone else's culture, represent that, marvel in its beauty, be a colorful individual, be someone who, if they ask you what's the color of your energy, let it be it's colorful, or it's the center of a burning flame, don't be bland. Live life, be happy, be full of joy, be part of the change, be open, keep an open mind always, because we always have a lot more influences than ourselves. We must be able to identify which is communicating with us, which we should listen to, and which is here to serve us. And on that note, have a beautiful, beautiful Heritage Month. Have a beautiful Heritage Month, and I celebrate you. Tagazan.